Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about how I like to level up Toxic Rain Pathfinder through the campaign. In this video, I'll be going over passive tree progressions, what skill gems you want to be on the lookout for, and breaking down exactly how I like to progress through the campaign in order to reach the early game Atlas. The campaign breakdown will be separated into 10 sections, one for each act, providing you with a clear step-by-step guide on how to complete the campaign. In addition to that, I'll also include the exact POB to my leveling process in the description below. So let's get started. So to start off, we're going to be first looking at the passive trees that you'll want to reference for each act during the campaign. For the first act, start by pathing through these attack speed nodes towards ballistics and aspect of the eagle. After grabbing these nodes, I like to grab primal spirit for the early strength and intelligence, and then go for heart of oak for easier life sustain. We then complete act 1 by grabbing finesse and a travel node to work towards avatar of the hunt. Now for act 2, we make our way towards avatar of the hunt for some increased damage, flat evasion, movement speed, and damage over time. This is also where I like to grab the bow mastery, granting 20% AoE while wielding a bow. Next, we'll make our way towards herbalism by pathing through quickstep and intuition. This will be roughly where act 2 is completed. For act 3, we grab herbalism and the plus 50 to life mastery, and then charisma along with the 10% increase aura effect mastery. Charisma will help the build sustain mana while running grace and herald of agony. We'll be able to end act 3 with a couple travel nodes towards wasting and the first ascendancy passive allocated in nature's reprisal. In act 4, once we've allocated wasting, we'll also want to grab the chaos mastery that grants a 5% chance to inflict 15 stacks of wither. This will help tremendously during boss fights. We will finish act 4 by pathing towards revenge of the hunted for some increased evasion rating and max life. For act 5, we'll want to first grab hunter's gambit and then path through coordination to make our way towards blood siphon and trickery. After grabbing these two notables in act 6, we'll grab entropy and fangs of the viper to improve the damage output of the build. Now in act 7, we'll be able to make our way towards growth and decay for some damage over time multiplier. Grabbing the damage over time mastery granting 15% increased skill effect duration will also help improve the damage of the toxic rain as well. By the end of act 7, we'll be running the cruel labyrinth, allowing us to allocate the nature's adrenaline ascendancy passive. For act 8, we'll want to take the nodes around written in blood for more life and some much needed strength, and then finish off the act by pathing towards atrophy. Now in act 9, after we have allocated atrophy, we'll want to make our way down towards Clever Thief, which helps out with both mana and life sustain. Finally, in act 10, we'll be able to grab Clever Thief, the 10% instant leech mastery, Blood Drinker, and start pathing towards the rest of the passives in the level 90 tree. And so those are the passive trees that you'll want to reference while leveling in the campaign. And you can find the full level 90 passive tree with no cluster jewels in the POB in the description below. Now let's start talking about the skill gem progressions throughout the campaign. So in act 1, you'll first start off with Caustic Arrow linked Volley for killing most monsters. If you're able to get a 3 link, you'll want to link this to Void Manipulation, and this 3 link can carry you all the way to the end of the campaign as your primary clearing skill. For single target damage, you'll begin with Puncture to deal with tankier mobs, and by level 12 you want to have a Toxic Rain linked to Mirage Archer as well as Void Manipulation to replace the Puncture. You'll also want to pick up both Dash and Blink Arrow as movement abilities during act 1. Now in act 2, the only thing you need to worry about is picking up Herald of Agony from Groost as a quest reward after defeating Fidelitas in the Chamber of Sins. You can also get Vicious Projectiles as a quest reward from defeating the Weaver, but this won't be useful until you get a 4 or 5 link later on. In act 3, you'll want to get Grace as a reward from Maramoa after defeating Piety in the Crematorium. You'll also want to purchase Despair off of Clarissa for 1 Orb of Alteration. Once you're able to get a third 3 link setup, you'll want to buy another Toxic Rain gem from Nessa in act 1 and link that to Manaforge arrows and Culling Strike support from Yina in act 2. Throughout the campaign, be sure to continuously upgrade the base item of your equipment as well as the life and resistance rolls that you have on your gear. If you're lucky enough to come across a 4 or 5 link item, your first priority will be to link Efficacy or Vicious Projectiles to your main Toxic Rain setup. But this is the minimum setup you will need to progress this build to the very end of the campaign. You can mix and match any combination of skill gems you're able to fit into your build on top of this, and you can find a list of my entire skill gem progression in my POB in the description below. Now let's get started with a step-by-step campaign walkthrough. Starting in act 1, defeat Hillock in the Twilight Strand and grab Caustic Arrow from Tarklight. Make your way through the coast and enter the mud flats after grabbing the waypoint. Defeat the Roa surrounding the nest and pick up the 3 glyphs from these nests. Use these glyphs to enter the submerged passage. From the waypoint in the submerged passage, teleport back to the coast and enter the tidal island. Defeat Hailrake and pick up the medicine chest to deliver to Nessa for a Quicksilver flask and volley support. Talk to Tarkley for puncture and dash. Once you have these skill gems, teleport back to the submerged passage and search for the flooded depth side area. Defeat the Dweller of the Deep within the side area and return to Tarkley to claim a book of skill. Teleport back to the submerged passage and move onto the ledge. Clear the ledge for experience and then move onto the climb. Make your way to the lower prison and teleport back to Nessa to grab void manipulation. Teleport to the lower prison and complete the first trial of ascendancy. Progress through the upper prison to reach the warden's quarters where you will fight Brutus. After defeating Brutus, grab the waypoint outside and teleport back to Tarkley to grab Blink Arrow. Make your way through Prisoner's Gate to reach the ship graveyard. Search for the ship graveyard cave's side area and enter this zone to look for the All Flame quest item. After finding the All Flame, enter the side area and look for the entrance to the Cavern of Wrath. Take the waypoint in the cavern to the ship graveyard waypoint and fight Captain Fairgraves. After defeating Fairgraves, teleport back to town and grab Toxic Rain, Mirage Archer, and Void Manipulation from Nessa. Talk to Bestel to gain a skill point. Teleport back to the Cavern of Wrath and make your way through the Cavern of Anger to reach Mervale's lair. Defeat Mervale to open the entrance to Act 2. Now in Act 2, make your way through the Southern Forest to reach town. Once in town, enter the old fields and go towards the crossroads. From here, you'll want to grab the waypoint at the center of this zone and go up and to the left to enter the Chamber of Sins. Once you reach the second level of the Chamber of Sins, search for and complete the second trial of Ascendancy. After the trial, find Fidelitas and slay him to get the Baleful Gem. Teleport back to town and talk to Grus to get Herald of Agony. Next, you'll want to teleport to the crossroads and head up towards the Broken Bridge. Follow the road in this zone to find Kraten's hideout. Kill Kraten to pick up his amulet and then teleport to the crossroads again and head down towards the Fell Shrine ruins. Make your way through the ruins to enter the crypt. In the first level of the crypt, find and complete the third trial of Ascendancy. After completing the trial, teleport back to town and enter the Riverways. Follow the road here to find the waypoint near the end of the zone and continue past the waypoint to enter the Western Forest. Walk down the road to find the waypoint of this zone and then find Alira to kill her for her amulet. Follow the road to fight Captain Arteri at the end of the zone. Pick up the thematic emblem and place it in the seal. From here, you'll want to make your way to the Weaver's chambers and defeat the Weaver in its nest. Next, teleport back to town and talk to Silk to get vicious projectiles. Once you have the gem, teleport to the Riverways and head up towards the wetlands. Find Oak in the center of the wetlands and kill him for his amulet. Once you have his amulet, find the waypoint in front of the Vol runes and teleport back to town. You can talk to Aramir to get 2 skill points and then teleport to Act 1 to talk to Bestel for another skill point. After you get your skill points, teleport to the wetlands and enter the Vol runes. You'll want to make your way through the Vol runes to release the ancient seal and enter the Northern Forest. Go through the Northern Forest to find the caverns and eventually the ancient pyramid. Make your way to the top of the ancient pyramid to fight the Vol Oversoul, which will open the entrance to Act 3. Now in Act 3, start by killing the guard captain and rescuing Clarissa. After talking to Clarissa, go to town and enter the slums. From here, you'll want to make your way to the crematorium. Complete the 4th trial of Ascendancy within the crematorium. Afterwards, defeat Piety to obtain Tolman's bracelet. Teleport back to town and talk to Clarissa to get the sewer keys. Talk to Maramoa to receive grace as a quest reward. Go back to Clarissa and buy despair from her. Enter the slums again and look for the sewer grate. Unlock the sewer grate and enter the sewers. Find the 3 platinum bus within the sewers. After finding the bus, enter the marketplace. Find the waypoint and enter the catacombs nearby. Complete the 5th trial of Ascendancy within the catacombs. Go back to town and talk to Hargan for a skill point. Teleport to the marketplace and enter the battlefront from there. Find the waypoint and get the ribbon spool from the Blackguard chest nearby. Once you have the spool, enter the docks and look for the thematic sulfite from the supply container. After getting the sulfite, teleport to the battlefront and go to the Solaris Temple. Make your way to the end of level 2 of the Solaris Temple and talk to Diala to receive a Lapis Amulet and the Infernal Talc. From here, teleport to the sewers to remove the Undying blockage. Enter the Ebony Barracks and grab the waypoint there. Find and defeat Corvisius and then make your way to the Lunaris Temple. Travel to the end of level 2 of the Lunaris Temple and defeat Piety to get the tower key. Once you have the key, teleport back to town and talk to Grigor for a skill point. Next, teleport to the Ebony Barracks and go to the Imperial Gardens. Grab the waypoint here and complete the 6th trial of Ascendancy in the zone. Once you have the 6 trials completed, teleport back to town and enter the first labyrinth. Defeat Izaro at the end of the labyrinth and grab Nature's Reprisal as your first Ascendancy. Finally, you'll want to teleport to the Imperial Gardens and head over to the Scepter of God. Ascend the tower to find Dominus and defeat Dominus to open the entrance to Act 4. Now in Act 4, start by making your way through the aqueducts to reach town. Enter the Dried Lake after reaching town and defeat Vol to pick up Deshret's banner. Teleport back to town to unlock the entrance to the mines level 1. Make your way to the mines level 2 and free Deshret's spirit. Afterwards, go to the Crystal Veins to find Diala near the waypoint. Enter Duressel's Dream to to make your way to the Grand Arena. Find and defeat Duresso at the end of the Grand Arena to obtain the Eye of Desire. From here, teleport back to town and talk to Tasuni to get a skill point. Next, you'll want to teleport back to the Crystal Veins and enter Calm's Dream. Go to Calm's Stronghold and defeat Calm to get the Eye of Fury. After defeating Calm, teleport to the Crystal Veins and turn in the Eyes of Fury and Desire to Diala. Enter the Belly of the Beast level 1 and make your way to the end of the Belly of the Beast level 2 to defeat Piety and enter the Harvest. Within the Harvest, defeat Malagaro, Doedri, and Chevron to obtain Malachi's organs. Deliver the organs to Piety to unlock the Black Whore. Enter the Black Whore and fight Malachi. After defeating Malachi and the Black Heart, the entrance to the Ascent will open. Teleport back to town and talk to Oyun to get Withering Touch. Finally, enter the Ascent and open the portal to Act 5 at the end of the zone. Now in Act 5, start by making your way through the slave pens. At the end of the zone, defeat Overseer Crow to unlock the entrance to town. In town, talk to Lanny to get a 2-stone ring. Once you get the ring, enter the control blocks and look for the miasmator contained within the experimental supplies. Find and defeat Justicar Cassicus to get the Eyes of Zeal. After defeating Cassicus, make your way through Oriath Square and enter the Templar Courts. Go to the Chamber of Innocence and defeat Innocence at the end of the zone. Next, enter the Torch Courts and make your way to the Ruined Square. Once in the Ruined Square, find the waypoint at the center of the zone and enter the Ossuary. Retrieve the Sign of Purity from the tomb of the First Templar. After getting the Sign of Purity, go back to the Ruined Square and head down towards the bottom of the zone to enter the Reliquary. Obtain Kitava's 3 Torment items and teleport back to town. Talk to Lanny and Valenta to get a Jade Flask as well as 2 skill points. Once you have the rewards, teleport to the Ruined Square and go to the Cathedral rooftop. Summon Kitava at the end of this zone and defeat him to unlock the entrance to Act 6. Now in Act 6, start by entering the Twilight Strand. Clear all monsters in the zone and talk to Lily to get 2 respec points and access to all skill gems. After completing this side quest, enter the coast and find the waypoint at the end of the zone. Go to the mudflats nearby and defeat the Dishonored Queen within this zone to obtain the Eye of Conquest. Use the eye to unlock the entrance to the Karui Fortress and defeat Tokuhama in the center of this zone. After defeating Tokuhama, enter the ridge and then go to the lower prison. Complete the 7th trial of Ascendancy within the lower prison before going up Chevron's tower and defeating Brutus and Chevron at the top of the tower. Once you've defeated them, enter the Prisoner's Gate and go to the Valley of the Fire Drinkers side area in the Prisoner's Gate to defeat Abarath. Once Abarath is defeated, make your way through the Western Forest to reach the Riverways. Grab the waypoint in this zone and enter the wetlands to defeat Rislotha. After defeating Rislotha, teleport back to town and talk to Tarkley and Bestel for 2 skill points and a helmet. From here, teleport to the Riverways and head over to the Southern Forest. Go to the Cavern of Anger in order to pick up the black flag from the flag chest. Once you've reached the beacon, move the fuel containers to their respective positions in order to light the beacon. Burn the black flag in the beacon to summon Waylem Roth. When Waylem arrives, talk to him in order to enter the Brine King's Reef. After reaching the reef, find and defeat the Brine King at the end of the zone to unlock the entrance to Act 7. Now in Act 7, start by entering the Broken Bridge. Find the dirty lockbox somewhere in this zone and open it to get the Silver Locket. After getting the Silver Locket, head to the crossroads and grab the waypoint in the center of the zone. Next, head down to enter the Fellshrine Ruins and make your way to the crypt. Complete the 8th Trial of Ascendancy on level 1 and find Malagaro's map at the end of level 2. Once you have Malagaro's map, teleport back to town and then teleport to the crossroads to start going towards the Chamber of Sins. After you enter the Chamber of Sins, look for the waypoint at the center of this zone and then talk to Silk nearby. Next, you'll want to place Malagaro's map in the map device and activate it to open portals to Malagaro's Sanctum. Enter the portal to Malagaro's Sanctum and defeat Malagaro at the end of the zone to obtain the Black Venom. After picking up the Black Venom, portal out of the zone and talk to Sin to get the Obsidian Key. Go to the Chamber of Sins level 2 and complete the 9th Trial of Ascendancy before unlocking the secret passage to go to the Den. Make your way through the Ashen Field to find and defeat Groost in his stronghold. Once defeated, talk to Sin to allocate the Brine King and Ralakesh pantheons. From here, you'll want to enter the Northern Forest and look for the Dread Thicket. Collect the fireflies within the thicket and also defeat Gruthkol in the Den of Despair side area. After you defeat Gruthkol, teleport back to town and talk to Aramir for 2 skill points, Helena for boots and a necklace, and then Waylem for a quartz flask. After gathering your quest rewards, teleport to the Northern Forest and look for the Asmiri Shrine to place Groost's necklace on top of it. Next, you'll want to go to the Causeway and pick up Kishara's star at the end of the zone. Enter the Vol City and grab the waypoint at the center of the zone. From here, teleport back to town and talk to Waylem for a skill point. Once you have a skill point, go to the Aspirant's Plaza and complete the Cruel Labyrinth to allocate Nature's Adrenaline. After completing the lab, teleport to the Vol City and enter the Temple of Decay. Find and defeat Erakar Kali to unlock the entrance to Act 8. Now in Act 8, start by going through the Sarn ramparts to reach town. Once in town, you'll want to enter the toxic conduits and make your way to Doedri's cesspool. Defeat Doedri to open the entrance to the cesspool waypoint. Once defeated, take the path up towards the quay. Find the Ankh of Eternity within the quay and then bring it to Clarissa at the resurrection site side area. Once she resurrects Tolman, defeat Tolman before making your way towards the Grain Gate. Within the Grain Gate, find and defeat the Gemling Legion before heading to the Imperial Fields. From here, go to the Solaris Temple and defeat Dawn at the end of the Solaris Temple to obtain the Sun Orb. Teleport back to town and talk to Clarissa and Maramoa for a skill point each. After getting your skill points, teleport to Doedri's cesspool and head down to the Grand Promenade. Make your way to the bathhouse and defeat Hector to retrieve the wings of Vestiri from his tomb. Complete the 10th trial of Ascendancy before entering the High Gardens. Once in the High Gardens, defeat Yugal at the end of the zone and teleport back to town to talk to Hargan for a skill point. Head up into the Lunaris Temple and defeat Dusk at the end of the Lunaris Temple to obtain the Moon Orb. Once you've defeated Dusk, teleport to the Lunaris Concourse again and enter the Harbor Bridge. Find the Sky Shrine at the center of the zone and defeat Lunaris and Solaris to unlock the entrance to Act 9. Now in Act 9, start by going through the Blood Aqueducts to reach town. Once in town, enter the Descent and make your way into the Vestiri Desert. Find the Storm-weathered chest and open it to defeat waves of enemies and obtain the Stormblade. Once you have the Stormblade, grab the waypoint in the zone and head up into the foothills. Grab the waypoint in the foothills and then enter the Boiling Lake nearby. Defeat the Basilisk at the end of the zone to obtain its acid and then teleport back to town to get the Bottled Storm from Petaris and Sin. Next, you'll want to teleport to the Vestiri Desert and go into the Oasis. Find the Sandpit side area in the Oasis, defeat Shikari, and then teleport back to town. From here, teleport to the foothills and go up into the tunnels. Complete the 11th trial of Ascendancy within the tunnels and then go into the quarry to grab the waypoint at the center of the zone. Next, you'll want to find the Shrine of the Wind side area and defeat Garo Khan to obtain Sakima's feather. Once you have the feather, teleport back to town and talk to Irasha to get 2 skill points. Teleport back to the quarry and head into the refinery to defeat General Adis and obtain the Trarthan powder. With the powder, port back to town and then teleport to the quarry. Talk to Sin to unlock the belly of the beast and then make your way to the rotting core at the end of the zone. Talk to Sin again to open 3 portals into 3 separate areas. Defeat Chevron, Doedri, and Malagaro at the end of these 3 zones and talk to Sin to open the Black Heart. Enter the Black Heart and defeat the Depraved Trinity to unlock the entrance to Act 10. Now in Act 10, start by entering the Cathedral rooftop. From here, you'll want to enter the Cathedral apex and defeat the monsters in the area. Once defeated, talk to Bannon and then make your way to the bottom of the zone to enter the Ravaged Square. Next, you'll want to grab the waypoint in front of the ossuary and then enter the ossuary to complete the final trial of Ascendancy in the campaign. From here, you'll want to port back to town and then teleport to the Ravaged Square to make your way into the Torch Courts and eventually into the Desecrated Chambers. Defeat Avarius at the end of the zone in order to get the Staff of Purity. After obtaining the Staff of Purity, teleport to the Ravaged Square again and then head into the control blocks to defeat Valenta. Now you'll want to port back to town, talk to Lanny for a skill point and a 4-link body armor, talk to Bandon to transform him into Innocence, and then teleport back to the Ravaged Square. Next, talk to Innocence to unlock the entrance to the canals. After entering the canals, go into the feeding trough and defeat Kitava at the end of the zone to fully complete the campaign. Congratulations, you've just completed Path of Exile's campaign with the Toxic Rain Pathfinder. After you defeat Kitava, don't forget to talk to Lanny again for another 2 skill points. And so that's all for this video. If you want to support more content like this, be sure to give me feedback on how I can improve my videos in the comments section below. You can also feel free to give me suggestions on what else you would like to see in my videos. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you all next time.